Good morning. It's about 11 o'clock and it's Monday the 10th of July. Yesterday was the village open garden day event and my garden was open to the public for the very first time. It was very nerve-wracking, but a very, very satisfying and pleasurable experience to have so many strangers actually admire the work that's being done. Planning a route around the garden has not been particularly easy, as there are so many different paths and all of them lead somewhere. There are no dead ends in the garden at all. But coming through this way, there are several things in bloom, including this quite magnificent yucca, if I can get it in frame. There we go. Which decided to get itself covered in black fly yesterday, just before the event started. But nobody seemed to notice, fortunately. In round here. The yellow flowers are on something that's commonly known as curry plant. It doesn't taste anything like curry, but you waft it and a smell of curry goes everywhere. The red are Crocosmia lucifer, and they're rather pretty at the moment. Coming through here is the utility area for bins, etc., and extra parking space. But this year I decided to utilise one of my old dustbins, drilled holes in it, planted it up, and it came out in a ball of colour. There's another one here as we come through to the side garden, approaching it from a different angle than normal. Everything on this garden, at this side of the garden at the moment, is very busy. The courgettes are growing well. They're in flower, all grown from seed, and they do have one or two courgettes actually on them, but that's all. The blackberries are absolutely amazing. Yesterday people were curious about them because there are no thorns, and they wanted to know what kind it was so that they could consider planting them themselves. And it's actually Merton thornless, and it's been long-lived and beautifully productive and doesn't hurt anybody. I've got some new rhododendrons planted this year in pots because mine fared badly during the drought that we had, and it really was nasty, very, very hot, 32, 34 degrees and no rain anywhere. Lots of gooseberries. Lots of gooseberries. We're going to pick those today, and then I can start making jam with Mick's help because I can't lift the pans. My new beehive is here. I got it because the bees had moved into the birdhouse here, but then I found that they're tree bees, an entirely different species, and that they never ever would have moved into the beehive. The Beekeepers Association have told me not to get a swarm until the spring because it's unlikely to develop before the winter sets in. I have tomatoes, vegetables. I don't usually come through this side, but I have here ligularia, which the snails have absolutely loved and have devoured with gusto. Not so much round this side. Same plants getting ready to flower. Have a song thrush down there. In here at the moment, there's no hedgehogs in it. This is the hedgehog recovery area, but there is a young wood pigeon with a damaged wing, which is living in here so it can recover before the cats actually get it. It's taken itself off and hidden in the foliage that's inside. Coming round the garden this way, I will just go through this bit here and then come back round, follow yet another little path and go through back into the side garden again, into the reading area. Moses' ladder there, with only having 3 legs, he can get up anything. Unfortunately, he cannot get back down again. Looking back down the fruit and vegetable part, it's very busy. I've got a nice fig tree there, but not a sign of a fig on it. Coming round here, very tranquil this place, very shady, very cool, nice place to be. Coming through here, get to my work area where I plant seeds, sit down and pot things up. So I've got baby plants in there, also got quite a few fruit trees in pots here. I've got also strawberry patch, rhubarb patch, my barbecue, which gets used now and again, and the other little greenhouse. I see that the wheelbarrow is blocking off the entrance to the back garden, but here we go, through the rose arch, bob down, and you get into the back garden. This is a very shady area again of the back garden, full of ferns. There's a wildlife pond there, full of newts, frogs and tadpoles. No fish at all in that one, because fish eat everything, and well, actually so do newts. But I keep the fish out. The fish are in this pond here, and they're busy poking about this morning and eating. I did feed them a little while ago. Gets lots of frogs in here. More trees. The corner of my fernery, this dark corner, faces north, never gets any sun at all. So what do you grow in it? Very difficult area, but the ferns love it. And so I have here a sort of dell, I suppose, a small one, full of ferns, statues, quiet area again. Nice gong here that I bought in Laos many years ago, in my travelling days. Looking back round the garden, coming down this way. Very busy. Bamboos are looking okay now. They didn't like hot weather at all. Nice place there to sit and have an afternoon cup of tea. My mistletoe is still looking good, because it didn't get caught by the sun due to the fact that it is in such a shady area. People were yesterday asking me how I got it to grow there, and I had to admit that I didn't. The birds did it, all by themselves. So all the mistletoe that's on my apple tree is all naturally there by birds cleaning their beaks. I've got some fuchsias down here that are not really in bloom yet. Round this way, the aces are looking quite good. The bonsai trees are looking quite good at the moment as well. They need some attention, but not masses of it. More aces, different varieties. The geraniums actually went mad this year, and they're full of bees, covered in bees, who absolutely adore the open flowers. Especially this great big patch here by the back, this massive patch of geraniums all by the back door. The crocosmia here as well are lovely. They don't get the same attraction to the bees though. It's the geraniums that the bees love. And this side, the rest of my bonsai trees. And a very big patch of Crocosmia lucifer again, as it's my favourite. I have to actually sneak past this one because there's very little space between the plants and the wall. The roses were in bloom, but the rain, when we did have it, absolutely knocked everything flat. Down the side of my garage, nothing growing here at all, and round to the front garden again. Lots of colour by my front door, which looks quite inviting. It's probably the best it's been. And the hostas there, for the first time, have managed to not be devoured. I've got copper strips round the pot to try and keep them out, but it doesn't always work. But this year it seems to have been successful. So once again, thank you for walking round my garden with me, and I will bring you round again in the autumn, and you will see just how different it is.